So, Final Fantasy 16 is a failure. Yeah, in modern gaming. Okay, another failure. But this is because they made the terrible, terrible mistake of making the game a Sony exclusive. Okay? Yes, there are 40 million PS5s out there. Yes, games can sell on the PS5 like Hogwarts Legacy and God of War Ragnarok being examples. But Final Fantasy 16, like Forspoken, isn't selling too well. Final Fantasy 16 were extremely strong after selling 3 million copies in a week, but has trailed off significantly, which further proves that most of the people who were buying the game were die-hard Final Fantasy fans in the first week. These were people who were going to buy the game anyways because they loved the Final Fantasy franchise. Final Fantasy is still one of the biggest gaming series, but I think Square is expecting this game to sell 12, 15 million copies. I think the last game sold a load around 5 million copies retail a load on the PS4, another million on the Xbox, and a couple, and it probably sold 5 to 6 million digitally copies, which includes Steam and PC versions as well. Second, it's so adopted to the PS5, and even then, the PS5 is still outselling the Xbox console. Okay, God of War and Hogwarts sold relatively really well, and Resident Evil 4 sold relatively well on it. Which are all consoles that are they're basically saying, hey, buy the new console. Stop playing your old consoles. Your peasants. Okay? Pay up. Buy a new console. But this game is a failure. Not too surprising here. Okay? It didn't want on the Xbox. It didn't want on Nintendo Switch. And I think it didn't launch on PC. I think it launched on PC as well. No, it didn't even launch on PC yet. It's coming on PC later. But they're even rectifying this mistake by putting Final Fantasy 14 on the Xbox Game Pass. They're putting the game on the Xbox Game Pass. Final Fantasy 14 that was a Sony exclusive for a decade, and they're saying, okay, fine, we'll put all the other Final Fantasy games on the Xbox now because this game's a failure. Because they said, okay, let's put it on only on PlayStation 5, and no one buys the game. Not too surprising whatsoever, considering this game is overshadowed by other big releases and even, over the past couple of months, like Pikmin 4, okay, Street Fighter 6 released, okay, well, Street Fighter 6 is doing out part of other Street Fighter titles, Diablo 4 released, okay, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom released, okay, all of these huge, massive games, okay, you gotta realize that people don't have enough money to pay $70 for all of these games, okay, especially more niche games like Final Fantasy. Okay, Final Fantasy is still more niche than other IPs. Okay, like Diablo. Okay, the reason why Final Fantasy is one of the best selling series is because there's so many Final Fantasy games. There's so many of them. But these games are not doing as well, okay, as other games. Okay, people didn't buy Guardians of the Galaxy. That's sad. That's actually a good game. I don't know why people didn't buy that. But they said this is not the best idea, and they only want to hard stay with, Xbox. Now, of course, nothing of Nintendo, obviously, Nintendo's consoles are too weak for our games, okay? Even though Nintendo Switch sold, 125 million copies, okay, we could have easily put Final Fantasy 16, or at least, an Octopath Traveler-esque version of Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch. No. Graphics, matter more than actually making money, okay? This is basically AAA gaming development 101, okay? Graphics matter more, okay? Graphics are most important. We gotta make our games as realistic as possible. I think that's also what's killing gaming, modern gaming, and also microtransactions as well, okay? But Final Fantasy 16 are not sales are not meeting expectations. When a game when Final Fantasy is being outsold by Pikmin 4, I think Square Enix should be alarmed by that, okay? Pikmin is a, B-tier Nintendo franchise. And it's outselling one of the biggest names in gaming, and especially a game that's been selling millions in Japan. I know people say, but digital sales? Oh, wait. Pikmin... So, Japan is around 70% physical and 30% digital, okay? It was 40 to 50% physical to, 40 to 50% digital. It depends on the game and system. Nintendo, it's like 60 to 70% physical and 40% digital. And for like PlayStation games, it's like 40% physical to 60% digital. Okay? Which means the game sold around 1 million copies in Japan. Okay? Around 1 million if we're using that model. Probably less because I don't think many people really care about the game all too much as well. Okay? And basically for the poor sales of games of PS5 in Japan, they always talk about digital copies, digital sales, digital sales. Okay, that's important. That's important now. Okay, but they see Nintendo games selling so well, and Sony just doesn't understand why those games are selling so well. Probably because Nintendo doesn't make real games. First of all, okay, Final Fantasy 16. I don't play Final Fantasy games. The last game I played that was Final Fantasy, it was so bad. It was called Final Fantasy Type Zero HD. That game was really, really bad, okay? And it sold no copies on the Xbox. Because it's a bad game. That's why nobody bought it, okay? But I still have the game, which is funny enough. But, you know, I didn't I didn't like the gameplay of the game. Is what I'm saying. I didn't play the game. I only played the game for like a couple hours. Like I didn't like this game. Too bad. I only got for like $10 anyways because nobody bought the game. You know. And again, these games, not Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is definitely not a niche game, but it's more of a niche. JRPGs are still a niche genre. Okay, compared to other genres. Okay, they are still a niche genre. Okay, and Final Fantasy has been abandoning the roots as well as a JRPG. Okay, and more focusing on the Americanized RPG games like Skyrim, Fallout, and Borderlands. Okay, and no one, and okay, so Final Fantasy, they're alienating a lot of the older fans as well. You know, try to appeal towards the Western audience. So Final Fantasy 16, they alienated the Japanese audience by making the games more Western. And they basically said, okay, we don't give a shit about Japan anymore. Let's try to focus on America. And oh wait, that entire philosophy of abandoning your core fan base doesn't work. It doesn't work most of the time. Of course, I think game companies should innovate, but Final Fantasy is a JRPG series. Okay, only up until Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy was a turn-based RPG. It was a JRPG. But now they're trying to make it like Skyrim. I saw a gameplay of Final Fantasy 16, and it's basically no different than a game like Skyrim, or no different than a game like Fallout. Okay, yes, those games are RPGs, just like Final Fantasy 16, and Final Fantasy 16 is more like those games than Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And there's also rumors that Final Fantasy 7 may be becoming multi-platform as well, because of the failure of Final Fantasy 16. Okay, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which was another PlayStation exclusive that will be lost because of this game's failure. I feel it would be the same thing with Kingdom Hearts 4 as well. Going on PC, maybe Nintendo console. Okay, I would be too surprised if Final Fantasy 16 comes out the next Nintendo console as well, along with Xbox version as a launch style, because Nintendo is supposedly releasing a new console next year. So Final Fantasy 16 will be a good launch style for the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, it would be. Okay, and that's about Final Fantasy 16. So this game is a failure. It is not selling too well. Again, PS5 releases may not be the best idea in the future. They made it a large-scale partnership of experts playing games to the platform as well. Okay, so obviously, Square Enix is good. Of course, they have a timed exclusive for this game. The release next year, most likely this game will be on Xbox and probably Nintendo as well. Well, sometimes stuff like that works, like Street Fighter V. Okay, Street Fighter V sold well on the PS4, so they didn't need to put it on other consoles. You can still buy the game on PC if you really don't want to buy a PlayStation. I still think they should release Street Fighter 5 on Nintendo Switch, and Xbox, just so people on those consoles have a chance to play it. But again, you could just get a PC if you really wanted to play that game as well. It's still on PC. And Street Fighter 6 is also on the Xbox as well. So, yeah. That's basically about this video here. And yeah, I also think Street Fighter 6 would be a good watch style for the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. And yeah, that's basically about this video here. So Street Fighter... No. Final Fantasy 16 is a failure. So, Sony... maybe you still have bowed down to Sony. Not a good idea, Square Enix.